A wise man once say, if you get no girls, you have no life. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Gameboy, and I'm back with another banger. We watching top 10 things Netflix, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, got factually right and wrong. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but this Jeffrey Dahmer story or the series on Netflix has been blowing up. I'm not gonna lie, it even got my attention. I'm one of the people that really don't pay attention to like what happened back in the old days, like Jeffrey, Ted Bundy, Gacy, some of the clown dude. I didn't really pay attention to all that for real, because like growing up, I wanted to be a kid, or like, I just wanted to live my life. I didn't want to go back in time and be like, he killed this person? Well, keep my hand on swivel. No, I didn't want to be all like that. So I watched this series on YouTube, 10 out of 10. Ain't gonna lie, it disturbed me a little bit, some stuff that he did, because I'm a male and he know he did to me, so it kind of disturbed me a little bit. But anyways, it was a great story. Documentary came out yesterday, not yesterday, Friday. So yeah, so if you watch this video, I'm give you my reaction to it. Let's go.
What's going on?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks
Rebecca.
for the top 10 things Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, got factually right and wrong.
Talk to us.
For
Damn.
this list, we're
I ain't
looking at
gonna
what
lie.
was fact.
Now, when Netflix did with the series, it was straight, but it kind of confused me a lot. 'Cause like I said, I knew nothing about Jeffrey Dahmer at all, so it kind of confused me a little bit on when they was like jumping from that present to where he killed half his victims to like back in the old days. It's like you kind of had to like really pay attention, like keep up. So let's go.
And what was fiction in Ryan Murphy's Netflix series about the infamous serial killer.
Talk to us,
Were
man.
you watching Dahmer? Let us know in the comments below.
I did. I loved it.
Number 10, how Jeffrey Dahmer was caught.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Netflix's limited series about Jeffrey Dahmer begins with the night a would-be victim survived an encounter with the killer.
Somebody call the police! Help me!
On July 22nd, 1991, Tracy Edwards spent hours in Dahmer's apartment in fear, waiting
Hours?
for an opportunity to make his escape. And
Oh,
though
okay.
the way in which he escaped is depicted differently in the series, Edwards did hit Dahmer and ran out of the apartment.
I hit him and I ran towards the door, and he was right there, tried to grab me, get me back in there.
2 police officers went to Dahmer's residence to obtain the key to unlock the handcuffs still on one of Edwards' wrists. Once they found explicit photos documenting some of the murders, Dahmer was apprehended, putting an end to his reign of terror.
The officers were stopped by an individual who claimed he was in the apartment, and
No, I'm not gonna lie. In the series, when y'all just saw him run, that kind of made me not mad, but it was like kind of crazy, because like, okay, he ran. In the show or the series, he was just running nowhere. He was just running. In the back of my mind, I'm like, is he just finna keep running until like Jeffrey catch up and catch him? Because usually in shows or TV shows or movies, like, you run away, the killer or whoever chasing you, they come get you in the car, or they in the car driving trying to chase you. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen, but no. And when he got to the police officers, like, he ran to him and like that was like, put your hand behind your back. I thought they were finna arrest him. Not gonna lie, so I thought he was finna go to jail, but nah, they somehow believed him, because back in the day, you know, popos didn't want to believe us like that. So you know what I'm saying.
became engaged in a dispute with the owner of the apartment, and left the apartment and called the officers.
Number 9, Dahmer wore yellow contacts. Right. One of the lesser-known facts about Dahmer was his strange habit of wearing yellow contacts.
Bro, that was creepy. That was just weird.
Just like the Emperor's. Got him at a costume shop in Kenosha.
He wore them because he felt connected to 2 dark characters in his favorite movies. The Emperor from Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and the Gemini Killer from The Exorcist 3. In changing his appearance to resemble these powerful fictional figures, Dahmer himself felt more powerful and predatory.
That I actually derives.
I'm not gonna lie, Netflix nailed the fuck out of that series, bro. Like, Netflix did an amazing job with like every small like detail. Like the apartment looks just like the real apartment. Netflix nailed the fuck out of it. And the dude who played the role of Jeffrey, he deserved some type of award, because he did amazing. The acting was just, you can't beat it. Like, you can't beat his acting he gave us. Now, he said the actor, I don't know his name, he said that he went through some dark places just to get that role, or like to play that part. I don't blame him. Like, this, man, me personally, I couldn't do it. Like, going to dark places just to play the role, I think I would really be traumatized for life, though. So, but yeah, him wearing the yellow concerts, that was just kind of creepy. Like, that was like OD shit. Like, that's weird.
A sort of pleasure from watching that tape.
Did you like feeling evil?
No, I didn't. But I had tried to overcome the thoughts, and it worked for a while, but eventually I gave in.
He repeatedly watched the films before he went out to find another victim to bring home, often making them watch the films with him.
What are you gonna do? Told you. We're gonna hang out. Watch
This
a
movie.
Gonna take some pictures.
Ad.
I'll pay you.
Tracy Edwards also testified that while playing The Exorcist 3, Dahmer was chanting and rocking back and forth.
It was like a slow slur, like, some of that nature, some close like that, I'm not sure.
Did it keep on for a period of time?
Off and on throughout the ordeal.
Number 8. How Ronald Flowers survived. Wrong.
Survive. Let me hear this.
Jesus.
Don't worry, I'm not a cop.
Another survivor of Dahmer was Ron Flowers, who met him when his car broke down and Dahmer offered to help. He took him to his grandmother's West Allis residence.
I ain't gonna lie. Rest in peace, everyone who was a victim of Jeffrey Dahmer. But some people who like was the victim, I hate like talking like this, because like it's not me saying they was dumb or there wasn't like that thing, like using their brain, but like I guess some stuff wasn't really common sense back then for a lot of people, because me personally, in today's generation, my car breaks down and someone says, "Hey, come to my house or my grandma's house. Let's get my keys and let's have a couple of drinks or whatever." I am not moving from that car. My car is staying put until you come back. And if you don't like that, I don't care. I will go call someone else, but I am not leaving my car to go to someone else's house. I'm just not. I'm just not. And I don't know if they're gonna show the 14-year-old boy, but in the series, the first 14-year-old boy. No, I don't know if it was the first or second, but I think it was the second. Because either one, I just whichever one he had in his apartment and like try to make him a zombie. Rest in peace once again. But I don't know what was going on through his head. Because if you watch the show or remember, the brother went to Jeffrey and the brother survived Jeffrey. And the brother went back home all messed up and everything. He almost OD'd or something like that. And when Jeffrey saw the 14-year-old younger brother, for some reason the younger brother agreed to go back and do all this other stuff. Then when he got to this Jeffrey apartment, he was like, "Oh, I know you. You know what you did to my brothers in that third." And even Jeffrey was like, why you come back? Or why you come to me knowing what I did to your brother? And he was like, "I need the money." Stuff like that just don't make sense to me. And like I said, if you're gonna hate me for saying that, hate me, but like that just wasn't being smart. That was not being smart at all. So yeah, what he did right here about going back, wasn't smart. So that's just me, though. That's just
is interrupted
me.
when his grandmother sees that something is wrong with the young man.
W grandma.
Into a hospital.
What? He's just a little wasted, Grandma.
I will not have some stranger dying in my house.
He'll be fine. Just let him sleep it off. Jeez.
No. Something is not right here.
She is adamant about staying with the unconscious guest, making sure he gets on a bus the next morning. But her actual involvement in saving Flowers from her grandson has never been reported. Like in the series, Flowers woke up in County General Hospital.
Where am I? You OD'd. You're lucky to be alive.
But what isn't mentioned is that he was also covered in abrasions and believed he might have been assaulted. He later testified that he didn't know how he got there, though the series provides a fictional scenario.
The guy I met last night, he was weird. He must have slipped something in my drink. Dude tried to kill me.
Number 7. Dahmer posed in yearbook photos.
No, that was low-key crazy. That was funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was low-key funny. Like, oh my gosh, that was funny, bro.
How did he get in there? I don't know. Dan, how did you not catch this?
I'm sorry, I didn't see him.
Look at him.
It's your goddamn job, Dan.
The Netflix series mainly follows
And no
Jeffrey
one
Dahmer
realized
as
it
an adult.
either.
But a flashback to him in high school shows him sneaking into a yearbook picture for the Honor Society, despite not being a member. Yes, he actually did this, and his face was subsequently blacked out of the photo. My Friend Dahmer, both the graphic novel and its film adaptation, go further into the prank and the other club photos he infiltrated.
Excuse me, what do you... Oh, no. Is that really necessary?
Former classmates have described how his bizarre behavior in school quickly went from entertaining to concerning, given his heavy drinking.
And I remember sitting next to him in a first period, I believe, history class, and he had a styrofoam cup of scotch, I believe it was scotch. I remember saying,
No boy getting drunk.
And he threw his head back and he shook it and he said, "It's my medicine."
Number 6. Dahmer.
Now, bro, when he took that picture in the yearbook, that was OD crazy. That was actually funny, because, like, how do you not realize that he just, excuse me, let me get comfortable, and just smiled. And, like, but I will say, it was like 2 different pictures. How did you not realize that? Or how did the cameraman not realize that? Especially people beside Jeffrey that he squeezed in between the two. Like, you don't, like, if I'm trying to take a picture in, like, a big crowded area or whatever, and I'm standing still, and someone, like, touching on me or, like, trying to squeeze in, I'm going to look and see who it is. I'm not going to be like, cheese? No. Like, I'm going to be like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? But Jeffrey just said, excuse me, this is my spot right here. Yeah, I'm National Society. Like, come on, bro. Dahmer killed Dean. Oh, he did? Really?
Wrong.
Really?
Episode 7. Glenda
Okay.
Cleveland meets Dean Vaughn, a new resident of the Oxford apartments.
Sorry I snapped on you. You gotta be careful in this neighborhood.
I'm a good guy. Scout's honor.
She sees him talking to Dahmer in the hall and is visibly concerned. The series doesn't follow through with his story, but it does point viewers in a certain direction.
Mason, he killed them.
However, Vaughn was really a tenant in the building. He was found strangled in his upstairs apartment in early May 1991. Dahmer was questioned about the suspicious death before he was arrested, and again when he was eventually caught. Both times he denied knowing him, and no evidence was ever found connecting him to the crime. As of 2022, the murder of Dean Vaughn is still unsolved.
That's crazy.
Dean Vaughn. You was talking to him in the hallway, then I never saw him after that.
So someone else killed them.
Number 5. Baptized the same day as John Wayne Gacy.
Bro, John Wayne Gacy shit is so crazy, because I didn't know who he was. I was watching this series with someone, right? And they goes, wait, that's him. I'm like, that's who? John Wayne Gacy. I'm like, who the fuck is that? The fucking clown serial killer in that. Bro, this started off the last scene. No, so this started off the last episode of the series, and that shit really like made me uncomfortable with what I saw. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
So you've never done construction work?
Look at that fat soul.
No.
Lord forgive
Well,
me.
like I said, it's just stuff around the house, helping Mama, you know.
The beginning
Can never
of the
trust
final
her, man.
episode doesn't open on Jeffrey Dahmer, but rather another infamous serial killer, John Wayne Gacy, aka the Killer Clown. In the 1970s,
Look at him,
Gacy
bro.
took the lives of more than 33 young men in
33.
Illinois until he was arrested in December 1978.
Gacy was the epitome of evil, and he was the epitome of being a great guy.
Jeffrey is nowhere on this level. I mean, he did eat his victims, but still, though.
For 14 years,
This man's
convicted murderer was
crazy.
on death row at
Look at him.
Illinois'
I want to shoot him in his
Correctional
face.
Center. And on May 10th, 1994, Gacy was executed by lethal injection.
John Wayne Gacy was pronounced dead at 12:58 a.m.
He got a much easier death than any of his victims. In my opinion, he got an easier death than he deserved.
Facts.
But the important thing is,
He
paid
gone.
for his crimes with his life.
Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, Dahmer was being baptized by Minister Roy Ratcliffe. And, as it's briefly mentioned in the series, a partial solar eclipse also occurred
That's
that day.
so crazy.
We don't know, but this connection between
Talk
two
about
notorious
timing.
killers is definitely eerie.
Congratulations, Jeff. You're saved.
This incredible device
Like,
removes 50
talk
times
about
more earwax
timing,
than
bro.
cotton swabs.
Talk about timing. That's some crazy ass shit, though, bro. Like, being baptized on the same day another serial killer is in Chicago. That's some crazy shit, though, bro. Then a solar eclipse. I ain't gonna lie. Thank God for blessing me on this earth, because I saw a solar eclipse before, and it was actually amazing. It didn't really get dark, but, like, I saw it, and it was actually amazing. But that is, like, crazy timing, though. Like, it really is eerie, though. I can't lie to you. Well, got baptized, man. That long nose.
Number 4, victim impact statements. Right.
I would like to say to Jeffrey Dahmer that he don't know the pain, the hurt, the loss,
So it's
and the mental state he's put our family in.
One of the most heartbreaking parts of Jeffrey Dahmer's 1992 trial was hearing the impact statements. After sitting through the details of his
Almost
crimes,
cried.
family members of the victims had the opportunity to address the court. One of the more harrowing statements came from Rita Isbell, the sister of Errol Lindsay.
So it is true.
The series recreates the emotionally charged moment with
Netflix did it again. Look at this.
embodied the
That's if they show it.
anger and sadness of Isbell in her performance.
Now, I don't want to ever have to see my mother go through this again. Never, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I hate you.
And Dahmer's own statement took a lot from the real-life one.
That joke was
I
crazy.
did, not for reasons of hate. I hated no one.
Number 3, Glenda Cleveland lived at the Oxford Apartments. Wrong.
Now, someone did say this to me. They said that Glenda wasn't even his neighbor. She was like a upstairs resident or something like that. So that's kind of crazy. I want to see how this plays out.
In the series, actress Niecy Nash plays the role of Glenda
Goat.
Cleveland,
Niecy's the
a
goat,
woman who
bro.
is often overlooked in the Jeffrey Dahmer case. She interacts with him, mostly to complain about the smell and noise coming from his apartment through her vent.
I gotta say, that smell is worse than ever.
Is it?
The real Cleveland actually lived in the building next to the Oxford Apartments. The character is
Damn.
likely a composite of
I was wrong,
Cleveland and
too.
Pamela Bass, the woman who lived across the hall from Dahmer, who possibly unknowingly consumed human meat given to her by her neighbor. However, Glenda Cleveland did continuously
Ew. She ate that. She ate the sandwich Jeffrey gave her. Disgusting.
call Milwaukee police after her daughter Sandra Smith and niece Nicole Childress told her about a boy they tried to help. Number 2, Milwaukee police
Oh, so that wasn't true then. So Glenda was never, or the OG Glenda was never a neighbor. She was a neighbor across the street, like a building. Like building, Jefferson, another building she was in. That's kind of crazy that Netflix put that together, though. That's crazy. Well,
Officers returned a victim back to Dahmer's apartment. Right.
That's the 14-year-old boy I was talking about.
May 1991, some young women, including Smith and Childress, found Konarak's synthesophone stumbling in the streets, not in the Oxford apartment's hallway as shown in the series. They called the police to help the very young-looking boy.
He was holding on to me with a really, really strong grip, and he was trembling, he was shaking. So I just stayed with him, and I was like, I'm gonna get you some help.
But when Dahmer came back to his apartment, he convinced officers Joseph Gabrish and John Balserzak that synthesophone was of age and his boyfriend. In the series, Cleveland is at the scene confronting police, trying to tell them that he was a minor.
Wait. You just gonna let him take this baby back inside?
Ma'am, he's telling me this way.
I hate them two officers, man.
Y'all don't at least want to find out how old this boy is first?
Ma'am, he says it's his boyfriend. We'll handle it from here.
I'm really sorry about this, everybody.
Despite protests from the women, the officers escorted Dahmer and his incoherent boyfriend back to his apartment. When the police left, Dahmer killed him. Tragically, this poorly handled ordeal actually happened. After Dahmer's
That's
arrest,
sick, man.
Gabrish and Balserzak were suspended, but later reinstated. Before we continue, be sure to
Sick,
subscribe
man.
to our
I'm not
channel and
subscribing.
ring the bell. Those organs. Trial. Wrong.
Mr. Dahmer.
All right. I'm gonna go back to this right here. These two officers, bro. In the series, I don't know if it's true or not, but I was so mad 'cause I hate shit like this. They didn't care. They was too uncomfortable because I guess Jeffrey pointed out that they was gay. I don't care. You're a police officer. You got to search everything. You have to just keep your head on a swivel. But no, they just said, I have to mess with these people and just left. In the show, these two confronted the chief or whatever, and it was like, you can't do this to us. Don't worry, we're going to have people that have our backs. We're going to come back. And they came back and won a fucking award of heroism. I wanted to strangle my TV. I just wanted to strangle my TV after that because like, I was so mad at that shit. But like, some crazy ass shit, bro. And like the chief officer, the head, he couldn't really do much because they were saying that he was still new to like the office or whatever, and like people weren't gonna listen to him. But me, I don't give a fuck. Your ass getting fired. You is getting that badge. Give me your badge. Give me your badge because you gonna go back to your house, whatever. But you're not gonna be a police officer in Milwaukee ever again. Probably never. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna send a fast statement, I'm gonna fax it to every police officer in the state of U.S. And you ain't finna be an officer. You ain't finna be an officer more. And when I'm breathing, you are not an officer. For these two folks. But it's whatever. They got reinstatement or whatever. Won an award. No one give a shit, so. Crazy.
Dahmer, switch on notifications.
What's the last one?
Number 1. Dahmer always wore his glasses at trial. Wrong.
Mr. Dahmer.
Why is this number 1?
Before I impose sentence, I understand you.
No one cares about this, to be honest.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's hear it, though.
Towards the end of the series, Jeffrey Dahmer goes on trial for the murders. While the majority of the scenes are accurately recreated, there's one detail that was different. Evan Peters as Dahmer almost always wears the killer's trademark glasses. But the real Dahmer specifically did not wear his glasses throughout most of the trial. His reason? He didn't want to look the jury or victims' families in the face.
Damn.
Yes, it's a small inaccuracy in a largely true-to-life series. However, his decision to remove his eyewear is significant because it shows that he was unable to face his crimes.
Because I didn't feel accountable to anybody. I didn't feel that I had to face what I had done ever. And so there comes a point where a person has to be accountable for what he's done. Can't go around making excuses, blaming other people or other things.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and
That's
ring the
crazy,
bell.
bro. And how Jeffrey died was even more crazier, to be honest. If I can, let's see. Trying to find the motive. Let's see.
You could go to Grainger.com to find what you need to get the job done. Grainger, supplies and solutions for every industry.
What is this gay shit? Alright, so this is Jeffrey Dahmer's killer. So I think the backstory, I don't know if it's right or not. This dude, he had some psyche problem or whatever. He was annoyed what Jeffrey was doing in prison, like making fun of like him eating organs or whatever. And Jeffrey was like making himself look like he's a bitch shot. Like, okay, everyone sent him fan mail, money, all this, and he just got annoyed of it. And he asked one of the people that was working in the office, like, "Hey, can I see a record of like or a newspaper what Jeffrey did? 'Cause I want to know about him." They gave it to him. He lost his mind. He went berserk. And long story short, he helped Jeffrey and another dude named, I'm not even gonna say that, I forgot his name. I think Jesse. I don't quote me on that. He helped them too. For some reason, the security guard left. He left his post. The security guard knew what he was doing. It was a setup. I don't care. It was a whole setup. I don't care. This dude right here, first he killed Jesse, then he came back and he killed Jeffrey. He gave Jeffrey a whole, like, what he believed in everything, and boom, killed him. So let's see this real quick.
1990, Christopher J. Scarver was awaiting trial in a Wisconsin jail, accused of killing 27-year-old job trainer Stephen Lohman. It was then that the arrest of a 31-year-old Milwaukee man was announced. He had the remains of 11 men and boys in his apartment. That man later confessed to killing a total of 17 men and boys in Ohio and Wisconsin. He also confessed that he would sometimes mutilate and cannibalize his victims. Scarver came to know serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer much like the rest of America via the news. But Scarver got to see more of Dahmer than most people. Both men were convicted murderers, serving out life sentences together in the Columbia Correctional Institution outside of Madison. Although Scarver was also a convicted murderer, he couldn't stomach the things he'd heard Dahmer had done. Scarver later told the New York Post that Dahmer would antagonize inmates by making food look like severed body parts.
See, there you go right there.
Find.
You got to know
Scarver
it
said
of
he
it.
kept his distance from Dahmer until 1994. Scarver claims when the two were left alone in the prison gym, he bludgeoned Dahmer to death with a metal rod. He also killed another inmate at the same time named Jesse Anderson.
I was just
According
okay.
to what Scarver told the New York Post, Anderson and Dahmer antagonized him, so he killed them. Scarver initially pleaded not guilty of the prison murders, claiming insanity.
At his first court appearance,
So he
Scarver
was not
entered the
guilty.
courtroom singing.
Rain or shine, sharing your dreams, your heart.
Menace to society.
But he later changed his plea to no contest. He did so in exchange for being moved to a federal prison instead of serving out his life sentences in a state penitentiary. He was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences on top of the first one. The insanity plea wasn't out of the blue. When Scarver was awaiting trial for killing Lohman in 1992, he told a psychiatrist that voices had urged him to commit that murder. Specifically, he said it was the voices of a family, a mom and a dad, a boy, and a little girl. Scarver shot Lohman in the head 4 times, then made a manager write him a check for $3,000. He also stole the manager's credit card. Scarver went to his girlfriend's home, where hours later, police found him sitting on the stoop of her apartment. He had the check, the credit card, and the gun he used in the murder in his pocket. Scarver told the psychologist he'd never been in trouble with the law or even been in a fight. He said the voices of the family told him everything was going to be all right and it was meant to happen like this. The New York Times reported that he said the voices also told him, quote, "I'm the chosen one." Scarver has been in jail or prison since he was about 20 years old. According to his webpage, he was placed in solitary confinement for 18 years after killing Jeffrey Dahmer and Jesse Anderson. But he, quote, earned his way out and into a medium security prison. When he was initially arrested for murder in 1990, his girlfriend was pregnant and gave birth after Scarver was sentenced.
Imagine the
The child
girlfriend
was
like
named
that.
Chris after his father, and the two maintained a relationship through letters, according to what his son told CNN in 2014. During his time behind bars, Scarver became a poet and wrote a book titled The Child Left Behind, Poetry of Christopher J. Scarver. Scarver also writes short stories, musical compositions,
Okay, I don't really
songs,
care
and
about all
performance
this.
art. He's proactive in writing prison policy proposals and
Stop
initiated...
it, stop. But yeah, that's Jeffrey Dahmer for you. They went a little bit too into this killer. I just like the stories. I didn't care about all that. But anyways, I hope y'all liked the video. That was Jeffrey Dahmer. For my people out there, be careful who you trust or be careful who you around, and always be aware of your surroundings and everything. I love all y'all to death, and I don't want nothing bad happen to y'all. Yeah. I hope you guys like the video. Please subscribe, turn the notification bell on. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.